my belief is that right now is, a great industrial arbitrage opportunity, because a lot of the people that I meet with or work with, again, they have a ton of equity in their building. They're often making less than a 3% return. If, let's say they have no debt, less than a 3% return on their property. And today, as well discussed, see it in the news, interest rates are high. I think triple net cap rates are as high as they've been in the past 15 years. Multifamily in New York City is as high as it's been probably since 2011.
You talked about the 10 million and above because the users are typically, let's say below that. So an investor has to, come up with more cash. How are you guys structuring these deals right now with financing being where they're at? And at what point do you feel like this imbalance is going to shift from cap rates actually making sense given the debt that you have to put on deals?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, Brett. To be honest, I'm not really making deals with investors right now. Because, as we discussed, the rents are not keeping up with appreciation. So if I have a bigger deal, even a deal, I sold a deal for $17 million and the top 5 people were still users. It was a healthcare facility, a yeshiva, a lumber company. And so even at $17 million, there's still enough well-capitalized users to kind of beat the market, where all the investors on that deal were really around 13 to 15 million. So I think what needs to happen, that what would probably stop that trend, unfortunately, is some sort of recession, a recession that affects these service-based businesses where they aren't able to pay those premiums, those 30 to 45% premiums. And that would generally reset the market in terms of that premium would go much lower. And I think a investor, all cash, able to close, good track record, will then have the upper hand on a lot of these deals to actually get some deals done. So, my belief is that right now is, a great industrial arbitrage opportunity, because a lot of the people that I meet with or work with, again, they have a ton of equity in their building. They're often making less than a 3% return. If, let's say they have no debt, less than a 3% return on their property. And today, as well discussed, see it in the news, interest rates are high. I think triple net cap rates are as high as they've been in the past 15 years. Multifamily in New York City is as high as it's been probably since 2011. So what I'm telling people, if they are considering selling, making a move, is that it's an incredible opportunity to sell your industrial real estate to a user for a 2% return, 2 to 3% return, and be able to 1031 exchange into something that fits your lifestyle better. So whether that be a triple net property at a 6 and a 6.5 cap, or a multifamily property in Brooklyn, if that's what you're comfortable with, at 6.5 cap, 7 cap, sometimes even 7.5 cap, depending on where you're looking in Brooklyn. I think this opportunity will run out, right? I think the clock is ticking. Eventually rates will come down. And while your industrial property may still be, valued, and I don't see that going down anytime soon unless there's a big recession, I think your buying opportunity, you're not going to see these cap rates once we start to see some interest rate relief. So that's what I'm kind of preaching to anybody who will listen, who wants to sell. Again, if you don't want to sell, keep the property. But if you're considering it, I think it's a great time to understand your options.